Hello students, I am Dr. Horticultural from School of Agriculture, Calcutta University. So, in this lecture, what is the prerequisites of this lecture? The climate and soil have an important role in growth of the plant. Fruit growers should have knowledge of the effect of various soil and climatic conditions on fruit growing. Horticulture crops cannot be grown in all types of soil and climate. Hence, zone-wise cultivation is made. Climate includes a number of parameters like temperature, rainfall, atmospheric humidity, wind, hail, light, whereas soil covers such factors as moisture supply, texture, chemical composition, and soil temperature. So the particular crop should be grow only that particular region where the climate is suitable. The objective of the lecture is to know about the soil for horticultural crops. From this lecture, students will learn about the climate effect on horticultural crops. Physical properties of the soil. Soil structure. Soil structure should be uniform, favorable for water penetration, soil aeration, and drainage. It has different layers, therefore, soil profile pits have to be taken and examine the structure. Soil aeration and drainage. Soil aeration, which is helpful for growth of aerobic organisms in the soil to promote metabolic activity of these organisms. Fruits and vegetables require well-drained soil. Poor performance observed due to poor aeration and drainage. Therefore, well-drained soil is essential. Extreme wet and dry soil should be avoided. So, if we talk about the soil moisture, so there should be an optimum soil moisture in the soil. If there is a lack of soil moisture or excess amount of soil moisture is present in the soil, so it will harm to the plant. So optimum soil moisture is very needed for the better growth and development of the plant. Water table. Availability of water table at a certain depth is called as water table. High percentage of water can range into waterlogging, which is effect on growth of the plant. Therefore, water depth should not be more than 2 meters throughout the year. Soil depth and organic matter. Heavy soil cause waterlogging and poor aeration. Light soils are infertile due to landing of nutrients. Therefore, the soil should be 2 to 2.5 meter deep for growing of fruits and vegetables. Successfully organic matter influence on physical and chemical properties of soil. Whenever soil contains more amount of organic matter, which will increase the production of fruits and vegetables. In the case of horticulture, coarse crops generally require medium texture soil. Fine and coarse texture soil should be avoided. The soil texture should be medium, that should not be too much fine or coarse for the better development and growth of the plant. Soil temperature. Soil temperature affect the root activities and is influenced by the aeration and drainage. In cold soil, chemical and biological activities are slow and availability of nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur, and calcium is limited. Nitrification would not start when the temperature is 4 degrees Celsius. For successful growth of horticultural plants, the soil temperature should be within the range of 26 to 36 degrees Celsius. Due to low temperature, absorption and transportation of water and nutrients adversely affected. So the optimum temperature for the better growth and development is very much needed. The temperature should not be very much high or very low. If there is a higher temperature, so it also affect the growth and development of the plant adversely. Chemical properties of the soil. Soil fertility. Soil fertility depends on nutrient content such as nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium, and sulfur are important elements required for growth development of plants. Micronutrients like ferrous, manganese, zinc, boron, copper, molybdenum, etc. are also required. Soil aeration. Soil analysis is important to find out the chemical composition of the soil. The safe pH range is from 6 to 8. Some soils are problematic soil for plant growth like saline and alkaline soil. In alkaline soil, concentration of sodium salt above 0.1% is harmful. Boron is deficient in alkaline soil and is available in acidic soil. Iron is available in acidic soil, whereas calcium and magnesium are deficient. In alkaline soil, uh, potassium and magnesium and boron etc. are deficient. Information on salt and tolerance is necessary to select salt tolerance varieties and to adopt proper soil management practices. Soil salt tolerance crop. Here are some crops they are salt tolerant. They can grow successfully in the area where the salt amount is higher in the soil. These crops are as date palm, falsa, sapota, fig, grape, avla, wood apple, bear, chicory, potato, sweet potato, watermelon, etc. All these mentioned soil can be grown successfully if the soil amount is higher in the soil. They are generally soil tolerant crops. Next, moderate soil tolerance crop. These crops like pomegranate, grape, fruit, lemon, apple, pear, plum, beans, cucumber, brinjal, garlic, radish, pea, tomato, turnip, cucumber, brinjal, garlic, radish, pea, tomato, turnip can be grown successfully in to so in salt having soils as well, but they are moderately salt tolerant crops. Salt sensitive crops. These crops cannot grow successfully in the salty soil because they are very sensitive to the salt. Orange, peach, avocado, strawberry, asparagus, beet, cabbage, cauliflower, palak, leek, lettuce. In general, it may be stated that soil for fruit growing should be porous, deep, and aerated. They should not be waterlogged, marshy, saline, or acidic. And 3. There should be no hard pan at the bottom layer. Atmospheric humidity. The atmospheric humidity also influences growth and development of plants. Low humidity has drying effect and enhanced water requirement, whereas high humidity favors fungal disease, tastelessness, and low keeping quality. High humidity and low humidity are suitable for following crops like highly humidity favorable for sapota, banana, mangosteen, jackfruit, and breadfruit, whereas low humidity suitable for pear, grape, date palm, pomegranate, citrus, avla, and guava. The atmospheric humidity affects the juiciness of the fruits, which is observed in Ambia Bahar fruits of mandarin is juicier than Mrigh Bahar fruits of mandarin, probably due to the humidity during growth and development both Bahar. Rainfall. Water requirement of the crops is depends on the soil type and evaporation rate. For crop production, it is not the total rainfall, but its distribution is more important. And the Indian subcontinent, we have rains mainly confined to June to September. Thereby, fruit culture in India had to be supported by irrigation, or one has to select crop where fruiting is confined to the water availability period, and trees remains dormant during the stress. Excessive rain occurring in short period are generally unfavorable to fruits as it leads to waterlogging and at blooming time may wash away pollens and therefore inhibit pollination. So it means the excessive amount of rain during the flowering times also reduce the fruit setting because pollen grains can wash on the rain. Okay. In low rainfall regions, cultivation of fruit crops is difficult to grow and cheap irrigation facilities are not available in this region. Wind. Wind is also an important factor. It is also one of the climatic factors influencing the plant growth. A situation which is exposed to wind causes evaporation of soil moisture and thereby necessitates more frequent irrigation. Hot wind at the time of blossoming may cause failure of pollination due to the dry of stigma fluid and reduce activities of the pollination insects. In the case of deserts, valleys for avoidance of high-speed windbreakers and shelter beds are suggested. By establishing the high windbreakers and shelter beds, we reduce the water wind effect to the main crop. Hence, the pollination percentage can be increased. Ultimately, the fruit set also will be increased. Wind direction and velocities have significant influence on crop growth, both mechanically as well as physiologically. Mechanical effects on flower pollination, seed dispersal, tearing of leaves, lodging of plants, fruit drop, and uprooting of plants seem like physiological effects like transpiration increases, plant desiccation, reduce plant height because of reduction in cell elongation. Hail. Hail is the main another important factors affect the yield and growth of the horticultural crops. It is very rare in Maharashtra. In northern India, the fruit crops are greatly affected by the hail. They cause shedding of young fruits and flowers, while maturing fruits become almost unmarketable. So, due to the hail effects, the fruit quality also will be reduced. Sunlight. Sunlight is the main factor affect the growth and development of the plant as well as fruits. The sunlight is found to affect the quality of the horticultural crops, like fruits exposed to light are found better in quality as compared to those receiving low sunlight. This is because of more amount of carbohydrates prepared in the leaves. For example, in mandarin, it has been observed that the fruits borne on the upper half of the trees and consequently receiving more light are richer in vitamin C content and also more sugars as compared to fruits on the lower half of tree. So due to the heavy due to the heavy foliage, the lower part of the tree will get lesser amount of the sunlight. So there should be a proper training and pruning in the fruit trees for the proper sunlight availability to the tree. Here is the summary of this lecture. The principal climatic elements are temperature, moisture, humidity, and light. Microclimates refers to the climate of a small area, maybe of the area occupied by the orchard. Microclimatic variation are due to the exposure, slope, surrounding vegetation, large water body in the vicinity, and the thermal capacity and conductive characteristics of the soil. Here are some books for the reference.